Whitney and Jack over?
Did they start?
I don't even know.
Good morning and welcome to Love Island, the Morning After podcast, the only official Love Island podcast. Now, we are here and we are back and it is Sunday. It's me, Indiyah Polack.
And I'm Amy Hart. And today, once again, we are joined by Joe Bags. Now, Joe, you love mess. How did you find last night's episode?
Messy! It was phenomenal. And Whitney was giving us all the drama that I needed to see this series.
Speaking of drama, Whitney, Jack, I think we've got a lot to unpack. I mean, what is happening between these two?
I mean, is it a will they, won't they? Or is it a won't they, won't they? I feel like it's a won't they, but they keep drumming in why they won't.
I don't understand what's going on. She's blowing very hot and cold. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, and I felt like, I really like Whitney. I did feel like she was a bit unnecessarily mean. He is so sweet and seems like he's really kind.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't really seen much of him because we didn't get to know him in his last series, and we've only seen a bit of him in the last 3 days. But I just feel like he seems like a really nice guy. I don't think he deserved to be so publicly shamed in the game.
Yeah.
And then when they talked about it the next day, and then her walking off while he was still talking.
I get the treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen aspect of it, but I don't think she's given him, no indication that she actually likes him. And I'm worried that it's starting to overshadow his experience a bit early doors. But I like Whitney and she's big on personality and that side of things. So I don't really understand the approach she's going for at the moment, to be honest with you.
I think, do you know what? At the start, obviously, Whitney has always said that she's not afraid to say no. So this whole baby daddy talk, I don't think that is scary for Whitney. Like she said, if she doesn't want to be with him, she will say no. But I do think she needs to maybe now just start seeing past the baby dad. If you're going to get to know him, stop bringing up the fact that he has a child because you don't have to be here.
So it's a bit mean to reduce him to just a baby daddy.
She did say he was more than a baby daddy now. But I think we've got to the point now, we get it, he's got a kid. You're either going to get to know him or you're not.
I just realised while you were saying that it was all in the same episode. She had that chat with Shaq where she was saying, he could be the Ed to my Sheeran. He's really nice. We click. We're different, but we're the same. He's more than just a baby daddy.
Yeah.
And then she publicly shamed him in that game, saying that she was most sexually attracted to Charlie.
Yeah.
I haven't really... I mean, look, we don't see everything. I know we don't see everything, but we haven't really seen them even lock eyes, let alone speak. And Jack was sitting right there, throw him a bone, come on.
Yeah.
And then the fact that she got upset when he did the same back to her. And it was did you really expect him to embarrass himself again after she's just said, you're not the one that I'm most sexually attracted to? He's then going to go for some scraps at the end.
Yeah.
I mean that is bad. That is true. But I'm thinking, given that it is day 3, are we allowed to find other people attractive while still cracking on? Although I do think what you say in a game is quite important. And I think the games are where you kind of show your attraction to someone. So I get it.
Of course we are allowed to find other people attractive on day 3. You're allowed to find other people attractive on week 7 in the summer, apparently. But you're allowed to find people attractive whenever you want. However, I just think because it's all so fresh, he isn't maybe one of the biggest characters. I think any other people might have been able to brush it off a bit more with the bravado.
Yeah.
But he seems just a really sweet guy. And obviously they are, everyone in the villa sort of knew that they were, she hadn't shut it down.
But I think contextually in this, from what you're saying, I think it would have helped him and them as a couple.
Yes.
If
100%.
she would have maybe gone over and given him a kiss in that challenge, because kisses in challenge don't really mean much.
It just gives you more sort
It
of...
would have given him that kind of, green light to be okay, we should be talking and this is going in a kind of good direction. So I think that it's obviously been blowing hot and cold. And then we had the coffee saga, which threw me as well because tonally it was a tough watch for Whitney to be I like to make my own.
Yeah.
But me as a person, I love to make my own coffee.
Yeah.
And if Kane brings me a coffee, I'm don't do that. Because but so that was a tough watch as well.
Yeah, I think as well, if you've got a really specific coffee order, you probably should just make it yourself because it's always going to be wrong.
100%.
And I do understand that I like to do things myself. I like to...
But I think it didn't come across well.
Yeah, no. And I also just think a little bit, we are in the Love Island villa. You're not going to get, a hot double squirted filling a frappe. It's got to be a coffee from downstairs. And I think it was very obvious that Jack was giving her a coffee.
Peace offering, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a peace offering.
Yeah.
But I think this does maybe just make me think that is there a lot of pressure on Whitney to be like making a lot of effort with Jack? I feel like he's shown the effort that he's making. Maybe this is like his cue now to go and pull other people. You know, I think this is his sign to be like, look, I'm not going to put all the pressure on Whitney. She said what she said. Let me go and, you know, put my branches elsewhere.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
And then they agreed to speak to other people, which again, she was like, I'm open, And then when he was saying who he was going to speak to, she sort of got up and walked away.
Well, that was a strange conversation because he was like, you can speak to other people. And she kind of took that as insulting. She was like, I know I can, like I'm going to. And it was almost like they were just affirming to each other that it was okay. So I thought it was a bit strange to then take that to a different level and walk away because it wasn't a negative conversation.
I feel like Whitney is maybe a bit like Marmite. You either love her or you're a bit like,
She's a
I
woman of
don't know
few
if
words.
you're being like rude or if this is you just being straight and direct to the point. And I don't know.
I really like Whitney. Like, I don't want anyone to think that I don't. I really like her. I just felt like I'm an empath.
It's hard. I'm the
empath.
same. We love Whitney. It's in this context, this situation. It's hard viewing it to find out what's actually going on here.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they don't seem like they're speaking much about what's going on. So we're just getting like random bursts of
like
it
a lot
happening.
of it, like if we want to bring it all the way back to like what we're even here for, it's Love Island All-Stars. We're actually here in a way to play a bit of the game. We're here to find love. We're here to meet new people. And I think in that little section of the show, it was very much like, okay, we understand maybe Whitney isn't maybe playing it safe or she's not giving Jack enough attention. But hey ho, Charlie, you've not spoken to anyone else apart from Millie.
Yeah.
You know, I think everyone, like it got really heated and really just sort of like, oh, Whitney. But I think maybe she's looking at it from a point of like, hey, we're just all here to vibe. You know?
But you're on All
Get off
Stars,
me.
balls to the wall, talk to everyone.
Everyone's
and just see what
snogging.
happens.
Everyone
and I
is
must
snogging.
say, I personally do think All Stars, there's no room for slow burning. Personally.
I don't think so.
No.
I think like first time Love Island, fair enough.
Yeah, of
But
course.
second time, majority of you guys know each other.
Been there, done there, got the t-shirt.
Been there, done that, got the
don't
t-shirt,
even need to
know what it's
introduce.
about. I know how the game goes.
Yeah.
I know how to play it. I know who's who. If I don't want you, I don't want you.
Yeah.
Don't need to slow burn it. Like,
for sure.
if I'm not interested, let's wrap this up.
I think as well, I think everyone else has made it very clear they're all sort of snogging other people in different places and stuff. I feel like because they were the most unlikely couple, they were the ones that were sort of having the conversations really early on.
Yeah.
It's
They
like,
were
really cute at
is
the
this
start,
a friendship
though.
couple? Is it not? Are we putting this together? Whereas everyone else has just been like keys in the bowl.
Yeah,
But also,
I really
are
like
we
them at the
rooting
start.
for them more because they're unlikely as well?
Yes.
Like, are we deeping it too much?
We
Because they're so unlikely, we're thinking, oh, this could work and it's kind of cute.
Are we taking paracetamol for someone else's headache? You know,
We
is
really
it our
are.
problem?
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
did think they were really cute at the start. I feel like now there's just been a lot of like outside noise and pressure on their situation.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just
They'll
like,
figure it out.
They'll figure it out. And maybe Whitney just feels a bit like, backed into the corner now, like really quite cornered, you know?
6 weeks of all-stars romance, iconic pairings, unforgettable moments, and standout pre-love fashion is almost near. With our newest cast now revealed, it's only right to pay homage to the eBay pre-love looks that have shaped Villa fashion history so far. From Gabby and Elma's Wonder Doll Heidi Coord in Love Island All-Stars Series 2 to Liberty's instantly recognisable Jean Paul Gaultier two-piece, pre-love fashion has always played a starring role. These are pieces with lore, personality and individuality, worn in ways that feel uniquely Islanders. Ekin-Su elevated her date night look with an authenticity guaranteed Prada bag, while brands like I Am Gaia continued to dominate, with Islanders such as Georgia and Helena adding their own spin. It's not just the girls either. The boys are also bringing elite pre-love sneakers plus authenticity guaranteed bags, loafers and accessories into the Villa this season too. All thanks to eBay, sponsors of Love Island All-Stars. Who do you think Whitney might pick in the recoupling?
That's the thing, because I haven't seen her speak to anyone else romantically apart from Jack. But then obviously she did mention that she was sexually attracted to Charlie. And now that Millie is a little bit cracking on with Scott, maybe this will be, you know,
I think
Whitney
it is
and
like
Charlie's time.
like a-
It's going to be
Jules
really
kind of-
telling
Yeah.
from what Scott does kicking off. I think that will set the tone for the entire recoupling.
And you know what? I feel like I know what Scott's going to do.
I'll go ahead and say it.
Go on.
I think because they had that chat in the day, Millie and Scott, where she said, I like words of affirmation, I like being called beautiful. And he set up his speech by saying, this girl is beautiful, and didn't say, like, we've had a kiss, whatever. It was more like talking to this person. I feel like I'm talking for hours. I was like, this might be Millie. Well, this must be Millie.
And then Millie did mention in her conversation, I can't remember specifically, but she said something that kind of like insinuated that like the chat was getting boring, but then she said, not with you though. So to kind of like, you know, reaffirm Scott, like, hey, I don't have boring chats with you. Do you remember?
See, I took that as
That's how I
that
took it.
she said that she like liked talking, but then sometimes she's just a bit like, as in like she wanted to take things further than talking. And then he was like, oh, really? And she's like, not with you, though.
Oh my God. Well, you see,
this is the thing. And this is the whole thing of Love Island, is we can all sit here and watch the same 5 minutes of footage. And all take different things
I really
from
took it as that she was just trying to tell Scott that our conversation isn't boring. And then that's why he turned around and was like, I feel like I can speak to you for hours.
Oh, fine.
At the recoupling.
I think it was super flirty. And we've seen how Scott's come into the show. He's not just going to stir it up on the first day and leave it. That man is a continuous pot stirrer. And first recoupling, I think he's going to do something crazy.
I think so.
Yeah, if he picks Millie,
it would change the dynamic of the entire villa.
100%.
I thought he would pick Millie, but then I think it then sort of skews what everything else is going to be.
Well, then everyone's going to be like headless chickens because no one will know what to do then. I think, Whitney won't know what to do and
Well, we'll find out tonight. And like we say, I think whoever Scott picks will then be the domino effect for the rest of the recoupling.
100%.
And obviously, we think he's going to pick Millie. So let's chat about Millie.
Yes.
Now, Millie is backpedaling on Charlie a little bit. Do you think it's that we've seen her chatting to other people? She knows she's got options. And when she was chatting to Sean earlier, there was a moment where they were sort of zooming in on them and like the chat hadn't started yet and they were just laughing. And I thought, I can't imagine her sat really laughing with Charlie.
And
I feel like Charlie is obviously really fit and he's a really nice guy. But I just feel like Millie needs that like real laughter.
Yeah. I think on paper, he's the one that she would go for, but it's different having someone on paper and then, being with them and seeing them and
having to read the book.
Yeah, exactly that. I don't know whether he's just putting all of his eggs in one basket and getting quite comfortable too quickly with her. We all know that she is in there off quite a fresh breakup to play the field and get to know everyone, and that is her game plan. So I think it would be a rogue move for him to continue just tunnel vision, Millie, 100%. Because we saw the laughter with Sean and we've seen the like flirty chat with Scott and we're seeing good things, you know what I mean? So I hope that he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Now, Scott said to Millie that her name comes up with everyone whenever they're talking about who their top three are and
Love
stuff.
that for her.
Love that for her. Obviously, she's beautiful, she's funny, she's a great girl. Do you think there could be a bit of a loaded game playing element behind it?
So I think there is a potential kind of thing with the guys that there's obviously two winners in there, one of them being Millie. And, if you've won before and that was a landslide, maybe we could do it again together.
Yeah.
And maybe Charlie's done that quite early doors. But it's hard to tell. But you just don't know.
And also they'd both won with guys who hadn't behaved properly or like weren't that loved by the public. So again, they're like super, super popular girls.
Like strong, popular personalities in the Love Island multiverse.
Do we think perhaps maybe Millie is kind of realising this? Obviously, we did see when Charlie kissed her so soon, it was like, day 2? She felt a bit like, this is going a bit too fast. So maybe she's kind of noticing this and she kind of wants, take a step back. Again, she's fresh out of a relationship. She is a previous Love Island winner. Like she's got, she's hot property, it'd be a big deal for her to be with someone right now. So maybe she is feeling a little bit, I don't know what the word is.
I think she knows that.
Cautious. Yeah, very cautious.
And I do think she knows that. And I think she knows she's a hot commodity in that
100%.
villa.
And she's a Sag.
And she's obviously wanting to have a different Love Island journey. A lot of people go in there and want to play it differently. And I think we'll see a lot more people being open for longer this series because if you've locked it down, so soon in your previous series and got to the end and spent a long time with these people and then got in long-term relationships with them, you're going to want to play the field a little bit this time around.
And also, she probably is picking up also, I have not seen Charlie pull anyone else for a chat. So it's just sort of like, maybe, Millie's thinking, look, you're not keeping your options open. You're just like on me. Is there a reason for this?
And that pushes you away.
It pushes you away because it's like there is lovely other girls in here that you can get to know. I'm getting to know someone else. And she probably doesn't want to feel like pressured to feel like, I can't speak to anyone else because Charlie's like, he's kissed me now. So now I can't speak to anyone else.
Yeah.
And that does happen sometimes, I feel.
If Scott picks Millie, do you think he will continue to pursue or do you think he'll step back?
I think it all depends on what Millie wants. Because I think if he does see that Scott and Millie start developing like a close bond, it will 100% put him off. And I think also from Scott coming after him in the challenge and everything, it's probably going to be like, you know what, just have it, mate.
But
just,
then,
do what you want.
I don't know. I think he's quite tenacious. And I saw that clip where Millie and Sean were talking tonight and you could see him like in the background, like a hawk. And I do think that he has that in him to keep pursuing her.
100%.
This is so early on. He's like, no, I can win her back.
Yeah.
If that were to happen.
Yeah, but I don't think Scott's going to allow that to happen. I think if
Well,
Scott
who
does pick
knows?
Millie, he is going to fight for Millie to keep her.
I know. And I'll be interested to see who wins, who comes up on top.
Definitely.
I think the other thing we need to talk about this morning is Helena, obviously. I mean, bless her. She probably went in thinking, I'm going to rewrite my story.
Yeah.
And then it's all happened again.
Yeah.
But on like day 3, bless her.
I mean, obviously, easier said than done, but do we think she should have maybe said something at the time? I can understand how daunting that would be, though. Like, obviously, you're not going to want to, but maybe, I mean, what was she had said, to be honest?
No, it was just the fact having to sit there while they were like, have you snogged someone tonight? Yeah, Helena. And everyone's like, ooh. And then it's like, pass, goes to the other side, like as far away as possible, to the other side of the fire pit. Then passes something else, goes to someone else. Passes something else, goes to someone else. And she's left sitting there being like, having to watch it all, and also everyone having to like watch her.
Yeah.
And you know where it's like, right, I can see that Helena has a good heart. Because even after the whole situation, another question came up and she continued to go and snog Sean. And I'm like, why are you snogging Sean after he just pied you? But I guess she even said to herself, why did I go and kiss him? I think it's kind of like the ball dropped after the game and she thought, why am I actually chasing someone who was kind of disrespecting me in front of everyone?
Would you have gone and snogged Sean if you were her?
No.
No, I wouldn't have. I would have got back at him by going to kiss someone else, but I guess she wasn't really thinking in the moment. Because it's hard, it's just a game setup, isn't it? And I guess she's not really thinking like that. I just hope for her, and I think this will come. So she's come out of her season so quickly, then into All-Stars. But obviously in between that has kind of like come into a new world of entertainment very quickly. And she's gone back in. She's trying to rewrite her story. And I don't think she should put as much pressure on herself to do that because you can't control other people's behaviour. And obviously what Sean did was not great. And I'm hoping that with more time in there, her confidence will also grow. Like we saw last series where she did start saying, I don't agree with that.
100%.
You have treated me badly. She said it to Harry. And I think that will come. Obviously, we all sat there watching it last night, really hoping that she was going to do that to Sean. And she did. She just had to get a bit upset first, which was
100%.
tough to watch. But I think with more confidence, more will come.
I think
100%.
as someone that does love to have the moral high ground, I do sort of understand going to snog Sean because how can you say, I can't believe you did that to me if you do the same thing?
Yeah,
100%.
And if
yeah,
two wrong,
absolutely.
and you say, well, you did it and so did you. And,
it just
but
keeps
two
going.
wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah.
So it's like she can sort of go to bed knowing, like, I did the right thing.
Yeah, and it's what
you
she wanted
didn't.
to do.
And so-
1-0 to me.
And then if ultimately it doesn't work out with Sean, like she gave it a good go. She didn't retaliate and there was no spite in what she did. So I agree. I think she did the right thing in that
And
moment.
really and truly, like you said, it's what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like in that moment, she wanted to kiss Sean because she likes him.
And then she did end up kissing Shaq too.
Yeah.
So it worked out for her anyway. Because she
Yeah.
got to try it out with both guys. And it's sometimes better to do it outside of a challenge because
Yeah,
then
it means
it doesn't feel as daunting.
Who do you think she's more suited to, Shaq or Sean?
It's really hard to tell because I haven't seen too much convo. It's all been quite
it's very
surface
new with
level
Shaq.
so far.
I feel like, honestly, the conversation that she had with Shaq, I would never put those two together, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I would never be like, oh, Helena and Shaq.
Yeah.
But the conversation they had before the kiss was very like down to earth and he was very like understanding like towards her feelings and everything like that.
Yeah.
So conversation-wise, it looks like it's going well with Shaq. And I feel like with Sean, maybe it's just a bit more like jokey. But I don't think Sean is going to give Helena what she needs.
No.
I
And I think he's
completely
made that very
agree.
clear.
Yeah.
And I know it was just a game and everything, but you know how Helena feels, you know what she likes and what she doesn't like. And for you to go ahead and like kiss like so many girls in the challenge and not even look at her, for me, that's where it kind of...
Also, to come off India's point, Helena is one of those people that will just joke about anything
100%.
to avoid speaking about
Yeah.
actually how she feels. And Sean is quite like that, where he just likes to have a giggle and a joke, whereas Shaq's a bit more real, authentic, and likes to actually talk things through and like have a
100%.
real conversation, a real flirt. And I think that's what Sean wouldn't be able to give her. Otherwise, we're just watching two jokers, two court jesters
And
jesting
also
together.
with Sean, like I got the vibe in the game as well. Like he will try go as far as he can until he gets like picked up on it. So like, I feel like even him going to like kiss one girl and then kiss another girl, he was also like looking at Helena to
because
see
he's
if she
like, I
would
got
react.
away with it once.
Let me do it again.
Yeah.
She's not said anything. Right, third time's a charm.
Yeah.
And then obviously Helena pulled him up.
Yeah.
So
And that's
I think
not a basis for the start of a
exactly
good relationship,
You know.
How hard do you think she's finding it? Because obviously in the summer, when she was on last time, she always had, up until the end, when she went home, she always had, although the people she was with were in situationships with other people as well, she always had someone to muck about with, someone to sort of like have a flirty chat with.
Yeah.
She was always in a sort of situationship, and she appears to be like one of the ones that isn't really, I mean, she's got like little connections, Sean and Shaq,
Yeah.
but she hasn't got like a big like, wow.
Yeah, I don't know whether she's holding off and waiting for someone to come in as a bombshell. She's being a bit more reserved and not all guns blazing this time. And I don't know whether maybe she's thinking, you know what, it's inevitable that more people are going to come in over the next couple of weeks. So let me play it safe with these conversations and see how it goes.
I think so. And I think, again, we're day 3. It's going to take time.
Yeah.
And I feel like Helena's only really said she's been attracted to Sean and Shaq. That's only 2.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
only
yeah.
2 boys out of everyone in there. So she's got a lot of time. And I feel like maybe it will be a thing of, you know, waiting for new bombshells for her to find someone to
Yeah.
spark with.
What do you think her next move should be?
That's a good one. I think continue talking to Shaq and getting to know Shaq and kind of give Sean a bit of a wide berth and see if he comes to her. She's very good at pursuing people, grabbing guys for chats and doing that. But I want her to feel like she's also getting that attention back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So maybe, kind of distance from Sean a little bit and see if he comes to her.
And
Yeah.
maybe just try to enjoy the experience, because I feel like, again, in the summer, she was involved in so much drama the whole way through.
Yeah.
I'm sure she did enjoy her experience, but I felt there was so much drama the whole way through that it was like a roller coaster. Life is a roller coaster.
Life is a roller coaster.
I think, just really trying to enjoy it and enjoy the experience.
Yeah, definitely. And not put too much pressure on rewriting what has happened. And you know what I mean? And as you said, enjoying it, taking it in her stride.
Yeah.
And coming out being like, even if I come out on my own, like it doesn't matter because I had a lovely time.
100%. I would say learn from the past, you know. I feel like in her previous season, we saw the whole situation with like the girl group divide. I think maybe this could be, it doesn't always have to be about love. Maybe she could use this season to kind of get closer to the girls and build more
completely.
like real friendships.
Yeah.
Because that's also very important.
Yeah.
But, you know, it wasn't nice to see Helena upset, because I feel like as much as we saw of her in her previous season, she's never really like broken down and cried. Like she's always like taking everything on the chin when the boys are being a bit like silly. So it was quite sad to see her, you know, break down and kind of just her soul just looks a little bit broken, you know? But hopefully it all turns around for her. And, you know, this will probably give her a big energy boost. You know, just keep going.
For sure.
That is all for this morning, but do not worry, because the Love Island Marathon continues tomorrow and we'll be having our very first recoupling. Joe, are you going to be there to give us all the views?
Oh, I'm here. I'm here till Wednesday, mama.
Hey.
And as well as the recoupling, there's also 3 new bombshells going in tonight. Now, we have no idea who they are, so please comment down below who you think they are. I need to go do some research on who's got that arm tattoo.
Yes.
And as always, you can email us themorningafter@itv.com, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.